Hey, what's up, everybody? I want to welcome you to another episode of the Dreamerspro Daily Recap, where we give you a recap of all of the hot topics that we covered that day. You can catch them in their long format and also catch it fully streaming for free on Apple Podcasts. As you guys know, I believe it was on Friday or Monday, I don't remember, a few days ago, we did a live that was centered on some comments that Skip Bayless made on his Twitter account, where basically he was announcing that his run at Fox Sports is over after 8 years. He thanked people, and then he said he looks forward to what the next chapter holds. When the news came out that Skip Bayless was ultimately leaving Undisputed, and as we're shooting this show, I haven't seen Undisputed today, so I don't know what the cast is going to look like. But once the news came out that he was leaving, it was a mixed bag of reactions. One would have thought more people would have been like, oh, sad or whatever, but there were some people out there that were actually rejoicing and happy to see Skip Bayless go, which was quite telling about how Skip was generally perceived in the public. To me, the warning signs began to show when he started doing his own show on YouTube and no one was tuning in. Absolutely no one would tune into his channel. I'm sitting there like, but this is Skip Bayless. This is a guy that's on TV. Like, if we were on TV, we had a show on TV, and I'm sure we would get a bump in our views. So if someone has been on TV for decades now, at least, why isn't that translating when he's on YouTube on his own show? Now, I thought he was boring. He was reading. It was quite dry. Like, I don't know why they did the show like that. Maybe if he did it in a different way, it would probably be more exciting, and probably is the delivery of the show. Like, I don't know what those guys were thinking. Basically have Skip Bayless read. It's slow. It's boring. I don't know, but whatever. So the news came out, and some people, let's just call it what it is. People were basically laughing at Skip. Right. So this morning I was doing some research, and I came across some news that basically is saying that, Skip at the end of his post was saying that, I'm on to bigger things. Stay tuned and you get ready for it. But these reports are saying that Skip's career in television is over. Like, there's no coming back. There is no get ready for this. Guess what's coming next and all of that. Like, nah, that was it. Undisputed was the last time we're going to see Skip Bayless on TV. So let's get into the various reports here. So we got one. What is it from fadeawayworld.net? It says sources believe Skip Bayless, his TV career is over. And then it basically says at 72 years old, Skip has had a storied career of transitioning from a sports writer to a national television personality. He gained widespread recognition on ESPN First Take from 2004 to 2016, where he emerged in heated debates with Stephen A. Smith. His move to Fox in 2016 led to the creation of Undisputed alongside Hall of Fame tight end Shannon Sharpe. The duo enjoyed significant success until Sharpe's departure from FS1 in 2021. Sharpe cited Bayless's disrespect as the primary reason for him leaving. A particular contentious moment in December 2022 when Bayless made personal comments about Sharpe's career in comparison to Tom Brady was described as the last straw. Following Sharpe's exit, he joined ESPN First Take, further cementing his status in sports media. Now, there's some other sources here. I want to show it to you. This one is from NBA Central. It says industry sources believe that Skip Bayless's time on TV is over. Per Mike McCarthy, this is a tough spot for Skip. His run is over, and I want to quickly go to a Front Office Sports article and just read what it says from there to just kind of tie all of this together. It says, what's next? What opportunities are out there for a 72-year-old hot take artist? Who knows? ESPN has recently ruled out a First Take reunion between Bayless and Smith, telling me we're set on our current First Take rotation and wish Skip the best in his future endeavors. He could try to follow the example of Smith, McAfee, and Sharpe by building his own media platform, but Bayless's YouTube show has only 160,000 subscribers versus 755,000 for Smith's owned and operated show, and 2.6 million for McAfee and 3.2 million for Sharpe. Bayless could land. Listen to this. Bayless could land at betting platforms FanDuel, DraftKings, and Caesars Sportsbook, which have been scooping up mainstream sports media talents like Clay Adams, Mike Golick Sr., and Trey Wingo. This is a tough spot for Skip. His run is over, says another source. Then it says End of an era. Don't cry for Bayless. He made millions over his career for ripping LeBron James as a choker, touting Tim Tebow as the second coming, and other absurd takes. But he's also helped save the careers of both Smith and Sharp, plucking them both off the scrap heap when they were at the nadir of their TV careers. Ultimately, Bayless made a lot of people a lot of money, including himself. Like him or hate him, he changed sports TV. So, what are my thoughts about all of this? This really doesn't surprise me, right? Why doesn't it surprise me? Because if you look at the way things are trending, he's not going to be on Fox Sports. He's not going to be on ESPN. The only thing I can envision is probably him ending up on NBC, because, you know, NBC is now going to be dealing with, dealing with the NBA. They have new media rights and all of that. So there could be a scenario in which maybe they start a show or something and Skip Bayless lands over there. That could be a possibility. Maybe one of these streaming platforms give him his own show. That could be another possibility. But in terms of being on television on some of the shows that we care about, there are only a few shows out there, and there are only so many shows out there, and I'm trying to figure out which one would he be on. We know he's not coming to ESPN, so you can rule out First Take, Get Up, and all of those other shows. You can rule that out. He's not going to be on FS1, so you can rule out all of those shows, Speak, First Things First, all of those different shows, the Carlton Show and all of that. So he's not going to be there. So, it's going to be, it's going to be tough to see him land somewhere else. And if it is the end of Skip on television, he had a long, great career. He made a lot of money. The guy made over $50 million in his 60s. To making over $50 million in your 60s, you did all right for yourself. So he's made a lot of money, but Skip has been one of those people that has said that he's never going to retire. He is one of those people that is fundamentally against retirement. So he could still remain active. No one is stopping him from doing that. But in terms of being on television again, I think his run just might be over, unless there's a play out there that none of us have seen, and maybe he's willing to play his trump card. But I don't know what it's going to be. I guess we just have to wait and see. So, as you guys know, Aries Spears, the comedian, perennially goes on Vlad a number of times a year, but he goes on Vlad TV at least once every time, right? And if you know anything about Aries Spears, man, he's a New Yorker. He's kind of old school. He loves music from the 90s, 2000s. He loves basketball from the 90s and that era, right? And he's one of these people that's never afraid to be like, yo, your era's whack. Your era's whack. And what we also know is that he's a pretty big fan of basketball. I've actually seen podcast episodes of, Aries Spears and Gilbert Arenas debating basketball, talking about different eras, talking about who they think is a GOAT, talking about the NBA today and all of these different things. So he seems to be an opinionated guy when it comes to basketball. Now, Vlad, on the other hand, is another case. Vlad has a lot of opinions on basketball, but they're usually wrong. But nevertheless, he likes to talk basketball. He doesn't really know what he's talking about, but nevertheless, he likes to talk basketball. And whenever he invites Aries Spears to his show, that's what they end up doing, right? They always end up doing this. So during his most recent interview, he was on there, and somehow, some way, the conversation got on the Lakers and LeBron and all of that, right? So as Vlad was talking, all of a sudden, Aries Spears just comes out and it's just like, yo, man, this LeBron era with the Lakers is trash. And he just starts going off, but he's going off in a way that you will never hear someone on TV or anything like that with the tact that they would use. He just basically starts shooting from the hip. And basically starts calling it like it is, and it gets into the Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, LeBron GOAT debate and all of that. And I was like, yo, I thought he gave some pretty interesting comments that I'm sure pissed off a lot of people that were listening. But nevertheless, we got to talk about it today. It's the summer, and it's one of the few things that is interesting that took place over the weekend. So for those of you who didn't hear Aries Spears going off on LeBron's Lakers resume and the GOAT debate, want to play it for you now, and then want to come back and react to his comments. Take a listen to Aries Spears here.
Bronny James has been drafted by the Lakers, 55th round. First father and son in the NBA ever and on the same team.
The Laker Nation, and I know a lot of Laker Nation isn't happy about this, but they deserve whatever they get. They deserve whatever they get. They are the Dallas Cowboys of the NBA.
Okay. How so?
I'm just like, well, the Dallas Cowboys was always branded America's team. Like, the Lakers are one of the most historic, adored franchises in the NBA.
What's the most valuable franchise in the NBA currently?
Yeah.
They won the most championships in the modern era.
But it just feels like during the LeBron era, so many bad decisions have been made. So many things that wouldn't have been done if Jerry Buss was alive. From his sons trying to run certain aspects of the team, which ran it into the ground, to LeBron having all this control, like to hiring that one year they got all the geezers to form like Voltron. There was just a bunch of old, used to be good players when they were in their prime. Just bad decision making.
Hey man, they not like Buss.
No.
They not like Buss.
No.
They not like Buss.
No. Winning the championship in the bubble, which most people don't even count as legit. Come on, man.
Well, Bronny signed a 4-year, $7.9 million deal.
We went from Jerry West, Wilt Chamberlain, Shaq, Kareem, Kobe, Worthy, to now Bronny James. Due to nepotism.
Yeah.
Come on, man. The Lakers are a joke.
I mean, yeah, and in the offseason, they really didn't get the trades that they were hoping to get. So I think that this year, I don't think the Lakers are going to do all that well.
Let me tell you something. I don't know how much longer this window is for LeBron. And the general feeling is, wink, wink, he just wanted to play with his son. Once he's accomplished that, he's basically about to retire. If this is how he goes out, son on the team, they don't make the playoffs or they don't win a championship. The only one he had in LA was the bubble. And he has a total of what now? 4 rings? Miss me with the better than Jordan. There's no way you could tell me that if this is how the story ends, he is better than MJ. I don't give a about the scoring title and all them stats. He's been playing since kindergarten. Of course, he's going to break all the records. When you're that skillful and you've been around since kindergarten with no breaks, unlike Jordan, a year and a half to go play baseball. Unlike Jordan, forced to retire the second time when he really didn't want to. Unlike Jordan, who didn't come out of high school. Dude, you've been around since forever with no breaks. Yeah, you were going to break the records. But if your ultimate ending is 4 and 6, your son joins the team, a championship during the bubble, you don't win no more championships, and you retire with your son on the team? Nah, yo. Miss me with the Jordan.
What about LeBron versus Kobe? Now, Kobe has 5 rings.
I'd never put LeBron over Kobe. My order has always been Jordan, Kobe, LeBron.
Okay. It's a good list.
I just don't understand how he surpassed Kobe.
Sometimes it's a next generation thing. He's the Kobe of this generation. He's the Jordan of this generation. That's how I think people look at it. Because listen, how many 20-year-olds really know about Jordan? They know about him, but have they really experienced it?
Jordan was the who of his generation. Nobody. He was Jordan. He was Jordan.
Could you say that he was the...
The fact that you're going proves my point.
Would you say he was the Magic Johnson of his generation?
No, Magic was Magic. Magic and Michael, 2 totally different players.
Okay.
There's been no one like Jordan before Jordan or after Jordan, Kobe. The closest one. But Mike, you didn't look at Michael and go, oh, he's the of this generation. No, he was Michael. Michael. You might be able to say just from some of the things he could do athletically, but I wouldn't even say that. I was going to say maybe Dr. J. But no. Look at Mike's highlights and look at Dr. J's. Worlds apart.
Yeah. Well,
in terms of winning stats, championships, worlds apart.
So you heard what he had to say there. What are my thoughts on it? Well, let's talk about one of the first things he spoke about, which has been LeBron's tenure with the Lakers. And it goes to show you Vlad doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. When he was like, so where does LeBron rank in your greatest? Like, he's like, yeah, well, I'm going to think about it, I'm like, are you being serious right now? But anyway, let's talk about LeBron's time with the Lakers. LeBron has been with the Lakers for what? At least 6 seasons. In those 6 seasons, they won an NBA championship in the bubble that people don't respect. For whatever reason, they don't respect it. I think it didn't probably resonate the same way other championships did with Laker fans because there wasn't a parade, right? There was a parade. There weren't fans weren't allowed to attend any games. So, and it didn't have, fans aren't connected to it the way they would have been to other champions. I think if they won a championship like right now, it would have had a much bigger impact on the city and in the hearts and minds of Laker fans. But nevertheless, he won a championship with the Lakers, so you have that. So he delivered a championship for them. So that's one thing. What else? He did bring another marquee name there in Anthony Davis, another great big man and a player that the Lakers are going to try to build around going into the future, whenever that's going to be, whenever LeBron decides to retire. So you have that. So those are the positives. Won a championship. Brought Anthony Davis. He also broke the scoring title in a Lakers jersey, which I'm sure made the team a lot of money and brought them a lot of attention and all of that. And he's recently got his son on the team, which is also going to make the Lakers a lot of money. So from a monetary standpoint, at least focusing on those factors I just pointed out, I think he's helped to make the Lakers money. They've been relevant. Whether it's for good reasons or bad reasons, it's a different question. They're still in the news. He helped bring them a championship, and he helped bring Anthony Davis to the team, right? So those are the things that one can point to. Let's talk about the negatives. In the time that LeBron has been with the Lakers, we've also witnessed them go through some serious turmoil. They've missed the playoffs multiple times. They had the Russell Westbrook debacle, which was an absolute disaster. And if you think about the amount of Hall of Famers that were on that roster, it's just incredible that team didn't even make it into the play-in tournament. Forget about they didn't even make it into the play-in. It was an absolute disaster. So you have that situation there. You have that situation there. You have years where they didn't make the playoffs. You have the overall hit that the Lakers brand is taking in terms of being a pristine organization that a lot of fans respected, to now turning themselves into the biggest clown show in the NBA. Obviously, with them drafting Bronny James, that didn't help their credibility. The only people I believe that are in support of it are probably media members who have an invested interest in continuing to say nice things about Lakers and LeBron, of course, and who don't have the courage to basically say what the everyday fan is thinking. You have them, the Lakers themselves are going to benefit from it, and ultimately LeBron's legacy is going to benefit from it. But from a macro standpoint, I don't think a lot of NBA fans respected the Lakers for making that decision. In fact, I think they frowned on them as an organization for being a part of something so distasteful, where basically you just force your son on the team, and it brought them a lot of negative coverage. But nevertheless, it did bring them coverage. So that's a sword that cuts both ways. Now, if we're looking at his resume in terms of where he stacks up to other Laker greats, I don't believe he makes it in the top 5. LeBron fans will tell you that he's the greatest Laker of all time, so we're not going to take them seriously. But in terms of the greatest Lakers of all time, I don't think LeBron James cracks the top 5. If you think of some of them right now, you have Will Chamberlain, who I think won 2 championships with the Lakers. You have Shaquille O'Neal, who had a 3-peat with the Lakers. You have Magic Johnson, who has 5 championships with the Lakers. You have Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as well, who has multiple championships with the Lakers. I think he has 5, if I'm not mistaken. I think he won 1 in Milwaukee, but I think he has 5. I could be wrong. You have Kobe Bryant, who helped deliver 5 championships to the Lakers. You have Jerry West, who I think won 1 championship with the Lakers, but also was the general manager, helped bring Kobe Bryant to the team. So you have Jerry West and what he meant for the Lakers. And then you may have LeBron, but then you have other Lakers like James Worthy. You have other Lakers like Pau Gasol. And then you have LeBron. So I don't believe LeBron cracks the top 5. So for them to be even having that conversation, that by itself shows how little knowledge Vlad has of basketball. No one with sense would say LeBron should be ahead of Will Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, Shaq, Kobe, or Jerry West. So if you're going to put him in that group, then that just basically speaks to your basketball knowledge or lack thereof. So that's where he is on that. In terms of the GOAT debate, Aries Spears believes Michael Jordan is a GOAT. I was just watching some footage over this weekend of Michael Jordan playing. Listen, guys, yeah, I mean, whatever. If some of y'all feel like it's a conversation, whatever, but I don't see anything at all. I mean, just watch it. You go look at Michael Jordan play basketball, and go look at any other basketball player play basketball, and you're gonna be hard pressed to say, you know what? I think I saw one or two. It's not possible. There is no one. Right? There's no one. Not even Kobe Bryant. There's no one. So I think Jordan is the undisputed GOAT there. He brought up the point about when did LeBron pass Kobe. I never thought that happened, but leave it to the media. They somehow found a way to make it. They've somehow found a way to make it work. Somehow they did it. I think they said in 2016 is when he passed. Someone even said in 2018 when he didn't win anything, but one of those years. So I don't know. To me, what I enjoyed was just the candor of Aries Spears. Made the sit down very interesting. You heard Vlad laughing. Vlad is laughing and hollering and screaming in the background, which was pretty funny too. So. As you guys know, the Olympics is underway. It's exciting. We're now getting into the sprinting aspect and the running aspect of it. There have been some upsets here and there, but I believe it was yesterday night, although I missed the race because whenever I turn on the TV to watch, there's so many different events. I don't know which time this event is coming on and that event. Usually when I find out about it is when I open up my Instagram and I see the feed. Oh, this happened there. That happened there. This happened there. By the way, if you guys are not following me on Instagram, my handle is CTABANC. So Noah Lyles, the American sprinter, very confident guy, made a lot of news last time he was in the Olympics after he won. No, was it the Olympics? No, the World Championships, I believe. Yeah, I think it was the World Championships. And he said, he was basically poking fun at NBA players, saying, like a particular team wins a championship, they call the world champions. And he's like, you didn't play the world, you only played in the United States. That's not the world. And got some NBA players kind of pissed off, and they were kind of taking shots at him on Instagram and all of those different things, right? So Noah Lyles basically tells the United States, don't worry, I got this. I'm going to win the Olympic gold. And that's exactly what he did. Now, it was in a photo finish. It was very, very close with the Jamaican sprinter, but it was a photo finish, and he won the gold medal. I forgot what his time was. I think it was like 9.8 something, right? I think it was like 9.8 something, right? So he won the gold medal, right? And he was cheering, he was celebrating. I'm happy for him. Good for him. I think I saw an article this morning where he said, I didn't click on it, but I saw the headline on Front Office Sports where he said, it said Noah Lyles is seeking his own shoe. You guys can go to Front Office Sports and read it for yourself. I just saw it. I didn't click on it to read it. So that happened. Congratulations for him. He's a gold medalist now in the 100-meter dash. Fantastic for him. But in the midst of that, there's some other news kind of percolating. And it had very little to do with his performance, but more with his appearance. Well, apparently, and I didn't notice this because I wasn't paying attention to it, but apparently Noah Lyles actually had his fingernails painted, right? He actually had his fingernails painted in different colors, nail polish. I'm unsure why he did that, but he had his fingernails painted, which prompted Dwayne Wade, former NBA champion, former NBA top 75, the top 75 NBA player and all of that, to come out on Twitter to basically defend Noah Lyles, basically congratulate him and defend him for having his nails painted, which left a lot of us scratching our head like, bro, what is Dwayne Wade even talking about? So let's get into the post here. So if we look at if we look at the image, I want to show it to you now. This image says Dwayne Wade, and he got his nail painted. As you can see, Noah Lyles' hand over his face with his nail painted in blue or something, his pinky or whatever he has, and he got his nails painted. Say something, right? That's what he said. And then some people started to leave some comments. Let me read some of them. One person said he won gold, and you looking at his nails. Another person said, "What the F are you talking about, Wade?" Another person said, "Bro tearing down Braun legacy by this post." Another person said, you the only one who care about that, bro. Nobody gave a you know what." Another person said, "You turned out to be a major weirdo." Another person said, "What does his nails got to do with how fast he runs?" Another person said, "What happened to Dwayne, man?" Another person said, your fruity ass needs to chill." Another person said, "You're never beating the allegations," with this shaking his head. Another person said, "You cooked. Why you taking away a great run by talking about nails? What point you trying to prove?" Right? And then one last person said, "No one was looking until you pointed it out." Skittle man. So that's what some people said. So I actually had to go back and basically Google and figure out why Dwayne Wade actually painted his nails. And I found an article from Sportskeeda, and it basically says Dwayne Wade silences haters over painting his nails. And I'm getting the colors I want. The article then continues on. Dwayne Wade recently launched his second eyewear collection with famous brand Versace as he continued his successful stint in business and fashion ever since he retired from the NBA. The Miami Heat legend has become the face of Versace's men collection and couldn't be more excited about it. It then gets to the part where it says, I don't give it a lot of weight to it. In my 20s, a lot of weight would have probably been put towards it. At 42, I'm secure in who I am as a man, and I love taking care of myself from the inside out," Dwayne said in an interview with Esquire. "That's why this is what I do. I don't hide it. I don't do it for anybody else. I do it for myself. I like it. I really don't care about the reaction. I will go back to the nail salon and get the colors I want." So you heard what Dwayne Wade had to say. What are my thoughts about all of this? I sincerely don't know what Dwayne Wade is on about. I don't know what he's on about. I don't know why you would have your nails painted. Now, there is a scenario in which you can have your nails painted. What I mean, if you go to get a manicure, that's what they call it, and they finish doing your manicure, we've all had manicures I'm sure at one point or the other. At the end, they can ask you, "Hey, do you want us to put like a kind of see-through, gloss or whatever to protect your nail, right, from it being blemished or hurt or whatever?" And you can say, "Sure, I want it. It's clear." Or you can say, "Nah, I don't want it." Right? That's solely your decision. I've seen guys do that. In terms of painting his nails different colors and doing all of that, I don't know what that represents. I don't know what it stands for. It's not something that ever crossed my mind or crosses my mind to kind of support what some of the people were saying under the post. I never even was paying attention to his fingernails. Ever. I wasn't looking at his fingernails. I wasn't even looking at his hands, to be quite honest with you. It wasn't a place where my attention went to. So for that to be a place where Dwayne Wade's attention went to in terms of looking at his nails and he did it in fingernails too, and painted nails. Some people are sitting here asking the question, so what are you on about? Like, what are you saying? Sound like what you mean? Like, is this something you're promoting? Is this a message you're promoting? So to me, I don't understand that. But Dwayne Wade has been a controversial figure for some of the stuff that has happened off the court, which I'm not going to get into because it's not something I really follow closely. Those type of things have absolutely zero. I'm not interested in them whatsoever. However, I thought it was a bit strange to try to make his Olympic Noah Lyles Olympic achievement and then make it about his nails being painted, like as if that had any factor in his performance. Like, yeah, and he did it with his nails painted too. Like, so if he didn't do it with if his nails weren't painted, what does it mean, right? Usain Bolt and all these other guys have won Olympic gold and had nothing to do with their nails. But I guess that's what Dwayne Wade was focused on. I just wanted to report on it because I thought it was a bit bizarre, his comments.